nervous twitching of little muscles in her face. "It's really that bad, huh?" Glynis nodded dumbly. She looked totally dejected and pathetic. Nigel looked at her dubiously for a while, finally coming to some sort of a decision. "Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. Got a pen and paper?" Glynis nodded again, this time with a flash of hope on her face. She rummaged in her handbag and fished out a ballpoint pen and an old clothing store receipt. Nigel took them from her trembling fingers. Holding the scrap of paper against the doorframe, he began to scribble. "Look, this guy is strictly down market and he charges way over the odds on street prices, but he can usually come across, know what I mean?" The girl nodded gratefully. "Yeah, and thanks." She turned to go back down the steps. Nigel called after her. "Hey, look, don't forget to tell him Nigel M. sent you. It puts me in line for a favour, know what I mean?" Glynis didn't answer. Nigel remained in the doorway for a few moments, watching her as she climbed into the Porsche and backed hurriedly out of the narrow street. A slim female hand descended on his shoulder, and a pair of red lips which smelled strongly of gin nuzzled his ear. "Hey, come on, Nigel, you're missing the party." Nigel turned away from the door finally. "Who was it? Gatecrashers?" his companion asked. Nigel shook his head. "No, just some junkie bird chasing Charlie. I sent it to Greek Tony." His girlfriend pulled an expression of distaste. "Oh, that slimeball. She must have been pretty desperate." Nigel nodded. "Yes, I think she was," he muttered. Detective Sergeant Paul Carney sat at his desk, sifting through a growing pile of paperwork. Several empty plastic cups from the coffee machine and an ashtray filled with cigarette stubs testified to a long, all-night session. There was a light tap on his office door, and Detective Chief Inspector Manners let himself in without waiting for an invitation. There was a faintly chiding look on his face as he confronted Carney. "Didn't see your name on the night duty roster, Paul," he observed pointedly. Carney shrugged. "Just catching up on some more of this fucking paperwork when I ought to be out there on the streets, bringing this week's little tally up to date." Manners clucked his teeth sympathetically. "Bad, huh?" Carney let out a short, bitter laugh. "You tell me how bad is bad. In the last 4 days we snatched 5.5 kilos of coke at Heathrow alone. That means a minimum of 25 kilos got through. This morning we pulled a stiff off an Air India flight. 200 grams worth of pure heroin in his guts, packed in condoms. One of them burst during the flight. What you might call an instant high." "Jesus, I thought those things were supposed to stop accidents," Manners said. "Not funny, Harry," Carney muttered. "Christ, we're under fucking siege here. Provincial airports, the ferries, commercial shipping, private boats and planes, bloody amateurs bringing back 10 kilos of hash from their Club 1830 holidays on Corfu. And we haven't got a fucking clue yet what's going to come flooding through the Channel Tunnel. There's shit coming at us from all sides, Harry, and we're being buried under it." "We? Or you, Paul?" Manners asked gently. Carney shrugged. "Does it matter? Caring goes with the job." Manners conceded the point, with reservations. "Caring, maybe. Getting too personally involved, no. You're getting in too deep, Paul. Maybe it's time to think about a transfer out of drugs division for a while." Carney blew a fuse. "Damn it, Harry, I don't want a bloody transfer. What I want is to get this job done. I want every dealer, every distributor, every small-time schoolgate pusher out of business, off the streets and in a nick." "That isn't going to happen, and you know it." Carney nodded his head resignedly. "Yeah. So meanwhile I'm supposed to just tot up the casualties without getting uptight. Is that it?" He paused, calming down a little. "I suppose you know we got a batch of contaminated smack out on the streets in the SW area." Manners shook his head. "No, I didn't," he admitted. "How bad is it?" "Bad, bad," Carney muttered. 2 kids dead already, and 1 more in a coma on a life support system. That's just the tip of the iceberg. We don't know yet how much more of the stuff is out there, or how widely it's already been distributed. And on top of that, there's this new synthetic shit which has started to come in from Europe. Early reports say that it's really bad medicine." Manners smiled sympathetically. "Okay, Paul.